Hey guys, it's Missy Toro here, and I'm back with another reading. And today I'm gonna do a reading on Chloe Bailey. This one was requested. I did a reading on her sister, so let's just get this one out the way. I know she felt like she's being snubbed by award shows and stuff like that. Her album has not been good at all. People didn't even know that she released a second album because there was no promotion for it. She just put it out and everyone was like, okay. Like, literally days later, people were like, wait, she put out an album? Like, what the fuck? They were just confused as much as I was confused. Then she talked about how her label lowered her budget in regards to, I think, tours and stuff like that. I guess she already had a high budget, and then her label was like, you're not getting any more. Obviously, you're not putting out enough. You're not, what's the word I'm looking for? Your music's not being streamed enough. You're not bringing in any money for you to have a higher budget. Like, you're not bringing in any type of income. You're not reaching goals. They're sick and tired of her, basically. And people like to blame Beyonce and say it's Beyonce's fault. Girl, Beyonce is her mentor, not her manager. Just to clear up everything, Beyonce is not responsible for Chloe and Halle's career. They are responsible for their own career. She's only there to give them advice, and that's it. They're not underneath her label. They're underneath Columbia, so which is part of what Beyonce is a part of as well. Because Beyonce's been a part of a Columbia since she was in Destiny's Child. So yeah. So stop with the narrative that Beyonce's blocking their careers. They're blocking their own damn careers because Chloe doesn't have an image for herself. She never set an aesthetic for herself. She doesn't know whether or not she wants to be pop or R&B. And every time that conversation of R&B comes up, she's like, I'm not really the R&B girly. I don't consider myself an R&B girly. I'm more into different genres. I'm not just R&B. I hate when they say that. When the shit don't sell, all of a sudden they're not R&B no more. Yeah, R&B is one of those genres. Genres. I said genres. It's one of those genres where you have to be aesthetically pleasing to. I said pleasing. Appeasing or pleasing. Yeah, I think it's pleasing. Whatever. You have to be one of those artists where you can able to grab the crowd, like Summer Walker, how she's able to grab the crowd because she has her own set and like her own tone where no one can mimic it. With Chloe's voice, there's other singers that have the same type of voice as hers that can easily mimic her. So I think the point of the matter is like, girl, you don't have an image for yourself. I feel like I remember somebody was looking at her natal chart and they were comparing it to Beyonce's natal chart. They put their natal charts together and they're basically saying that, it's giving that Chloe's team is trying to make her the next Beyonce, but they're failing very hard at it. I don't blame them because having a mini version of Beyonce running around is annoying. It's like having a mini version of Michael Jackson. It gets annoying very fucking quickly because you start to get offended. And you see how people are comparing Michael Jackson to Chris Brown or Chris Brown to Michael Jackson and shit like that. And people are like getting annoyed. And then Chris Brown himself had to say, I'm not Michael Jackson. I can never be Michael Jackson because he already has his own aesthetic, his own image. That's different, way different from Michael Jackson. But you can see there's some type of similarities, but it's never the same, if that makes sense. But Chloe, how the way she sings, it gives off Beyonce. But her costumes give off Beyonce. It doesn't give off Chloe. It doesn't give off, I don't know. Let's just get into this rating, child. I don't know. Something about her, it gives me hope. It's like I'm losing faith in her as an artist. Is it bad to say that sometimes she gives me the ick? I mean that in a way where she tries too hard. Like, she put out that video on Twitter and she was wearing lingerie and she was laying down on her bed. She was sucking on a lollipop, trying to be overly sexy. And then people are like, girl, are you promoting your music? Or are you promoting OnlyFans? Like, what? you could tell she was one of those kids that were sheltered. Like, they weren't able to express themselves the way they really wanted to. And now that they're older, they're doing the absolute most. Yeah. No shade to Chloe. No shade to Chloe. Because I know they don't play. But child, So let's get to this reading. What is the energy surrounding Chloe Bailey? The Judgment card. Two of Wands reversed. Seven of Cups. The High Priestess. Five of Wands. Six of Swords. And the Ace of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Cups. The Judgment with the High Priestess. I feel like she needs to start realizing that the career path that she's on right now is not the perfect fit for her. I feel like she should venture off to something else, because High Priestess talks about listening to your intuition. Whatever is hiding in the dark will come to the light, and the Judgment talks about facing your fears. So maybe she needs to realize that she needs to drop her team. The Two of Wands reversed with the Five of Wands. The Two of Wands reversed can talk about, I want to say, you're not able to come up with she's not able to come up with a decision. I feel like she's confused on what's going on. This is like giving me confusion. I mean, even that video of her and she was talking about the Grammys, it was like, it's like she was like hoping for a nomination, but when she looked at it, she was like, oh well, my album was still good. So I feel like it is a lack of planning. I just feel like she doesn't understand like how things go. Even though she's been in the industry for so long, I don't feel like it's indecisiveness. It's more of, you're not paying attention. You're not being realistic. And that goes with the Seven of Cups. She's being unrealistic, and then she's trying to push this plan where it's like, I need this, I need that. Try to make big girl boss moves, but not realizing they're like, we're not doing that. You don't bring in enough, so why should we give out to you? If that makes sense. Because the Six of Swords talks about moving forward. And then, the Five of Wands talks about obstacles. She's not being realistic at all. Ace of Swords, there is hope for her. There is hope that is here. She needs to realize that her team is her downfall. Okay. What is coming up for Chloe regarding her career? What's coming up for Chloe regarding her career in the music industry? Ten of Wands. Yeah, kind of figured. The Page of Wands. The Hierophant. Five of Cups. The King of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. There is something coming up for her. There's something better that's coming up for her. But with the Ten of Wands and the Five of Cups, that's like the ultimate of feeling guilty. There's some type of regret that's here. There's too much of a burden and responsibility. She needs a better team. It feels like she's doing this all by herself. I would say for her to go, I always push for artists to go independent. That's where you have more creative control and you get to promote yourself the way that you want to promote. But I feel like she's not at that peak where she's able to be independent. I feel like she went independent, she'll be the next LMA, where people care about her for a certain amount of time and then people stop caring. And then she comes out again and it's like there's hype behind it, and then it's not enough hype. If that makes, LMA is such a good singer, great singer, but she's just very much taking her time, and she still gets the crowd going, but at the same time, it's not enough to keep their attention, if that makes sense. I feel like That's the same thing that's happening with Chloe. You grab some people's attention for only a certain amount of time, and now it's like people are just uninterested. Anything that you put out, they're not really interested in it. She's getting the Tina Shea treatment. Ooh, that's what's going on. She's getting a Tina Shea treatment. You know how Tina Shea was like a big thing in like 2013, 2012, 2013, and then the moment she started calling out her fans for not buying her album, calling out her label, getting into it with Chris Brown, people stopped giving a fuck about her. And then you see how this year, was it this year or last year, where she put out Nasty, or is it called Nasty, or is it called like Freak? I think it's Nasty. And everybody, that went viral, it went viral, right? And then people just stopped talking about it, and they didn't care about it no more. That's what's happening with Chloe. That's exactly what's happening with Chloe. These girls don't know how to create an image for themselves. What's the point? Let me tell y'all. The reason why there are singers out here that are natural born singers and they have a hard time becoming very successful in the industry, because they have the talent, but they don't have the aesthetic whatsoever. Like, you could be sexy, fine, all the fuck you want to, but if you're boring on stage and you're boring in general, people are not going to care. Or if you overly do things, they're not going to care. And then the girls that are like mediocre, like they don't really have the natural born talent of being a singer, but they end up growing their voice and they become like the biggest fucking stars ever. And people are like, how was that even possible? They couldn't even sing at one point, but now they're the biggest thing ever, and we can see them everywhere because they knew their aesthetic before they had their talent. They knew exactly what they wanted to be and how they wanted to come off as, compared to someone that already had a talent and someone telling them you're going to be a big star when you get older, and then they just leave it at that because they have a talent, just for them to be a part of a label, and they ain't got no aesthetic. It's like with Queen Naja. You see how she's like a good singer? She has the biggest like natural born singing talent, but she's not popular. Yikes. That's what's happening with Chloe. I mean, Hallie's not receiving that because Hallie's not really, she's in multiple things. You know, she's doing a lot at once, so music is not her only concern, which is good for Hallie. Hallie knows where she's going with her life. Chloe, she's doing a little bit of acting here and there, but like I said, not consistent enough for people to keep paying attention to her. And I feel like there's some type of entitlement attitude towards her. I don't know what it is. She gives off this entitlement. It's kind of making me mad. I'm not saying she's ungrateful, but there's some type of entitlement part of her that's giving off, that's rubbing off on her. Mind you, I love her music. She's a good singer. But at the same time, it's like, it's not enough to keep replaying it all the time. She don't know. Ooh, child. I knew this reading was going to aggravate me. I just knew this reading was going to aggravate me because Page of Wands with the King of Wands. I would not be surprised if she collaborates with another man, or she reaches out to someone for a collaboration. I don't think it will be Chris Brown again, because she got a negative reaction to collaborating with Chris Brown. People were not having that at all. They were not having that. There was like, bitch, out of all the people you could have collaborated with, why did you pick Chris Brown? Why would you do that? You see how like Victoria Monet has an image for herself and she sticks with that image, and people are like, oh, I could see her being the next Beyonce. Not because she's wearing blonde hair and stuff. It's because she's consistent and she actually has an image for herself, and we could tell what is a part of her and what's not a part of her. Chloe needs to do the same thing. Ugh, child. The Hierophant with the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like there's something with her label where they're going to give her time, but it's going it's not going to happen quickly. It's built up over time where they're going to start offering her more. It is going to take time. It's something with her label. They're going to start to give her a little bit more. There's someone here that's probably going to mentor her a little bit more. I don't think it's going to be Beyonce, but I feel like it's going to be somebody else that's going to try to mentor her, just in case. Sometimes I'll be looking back at these recordings. I'm like, damn, can y'all even understand what I'm saying? Ooh, child. But anyways, Knight of Cups. Yeah, there is more that's coming for Chloe. It's not the end of her career, but there's more that's coming for her that she's going to receive. But she's going to have to go through that loop of people just not caring. All right. Wait, one of you guys asked me to ask to bring up the question of how she feel about Normani. Okay, let's just ask that real quick. How does Chloe feel about Normani? I didn't even know those two were close friends. Okay, we have the Three of Cups reverse, the Wheel of Fortune, the Moon card, the Emperor, the Page of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Eight of Swords. This is kind of weird energy. I don't think these two are close in friend wise. Like they're like mutual friends. I don't think they're like best buddies. This doesn't give me best buddies. I wouldn't be with the Three of Cups reversed. It could talk about gossiping, someone being malicious in a way. And then you have the Emperor. Ooh, that's kind of difficult to put two and two together, because the Emperor could talk about authority. Maybe because they're in the same boat, that's why. I don't think these two are close friends. The Wheel of Fortune, the Page of Cups. I mean, eventually I could see those two collaborating with one another. But it doesn't seem like they're like close friends or anything. The Moon card with the Queen of Cups. Yeah, this is energy of having to watch out. Someone's being sneaky as hell. I'm not saying like in a really bad way, but in a way like, girl, you gotta watch out, because these people are not your friends. Eight of Swords. Yeah, it doesn't seem like those two are close. I mean, they're co-workers, if that's something you guys want to hear. They're co-workers, but they're not close friends. It doesn't seem like it. But anyways, what's coming up for Chloe regarding love? I remember I've seen a couple of interviews of her talking about how she's single, how she's not depending on no man. But then there's other interviews talking about she has a big crush on Michael B. Jordan. And then there was videos of her linking up with Michael B. Jordan, or he would see her, he would give her a hug, or they were on the red carpet taking videos with each other. Now, do I really want them to be a couple? No. Why? Because she was just in Lori Harvey's face a lot during the time where Michael B. Jordan was dating Lori. Chloe was like always like in Lori's. From what I've seen, a lot of pictures of Lori Harvey and Chloe. There were so many pictures of those two. In groups, of course, not just by themselves, but in groups. So I feel like that'd be kind of awkward, because, girl, if you was in another girl's face while she was dating your celebrity crush, that means you were plotting. That means you were plotting from the get-go, and I don't like that energy. I don't like that. That's weird. But what's coming up for Chloe regarding love? What's coming up for Chloe regarding love? L-O-V-E. The Seven of Wands, the Empress, the Ten of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Three of Wands, the World card, the Lovers. There's someone here. There's someone that's coming her way. The Seven of Wands with the Four of Wands, that could just talk about searching for what you really want so you could receive that loving relationship, because the Seven of Wands talks about removing those obstacles. Four of Wands can talk about a marriage or like a celebration of some sort regards to the home. So I feel like she's trying her best to get rid of all the people that are not really good for her. The Empress with the Three of Wands, I could see someone manifesting for her. The Empress doesn't always mean pregnancy. I don't wish that on Chloe, but she did talk about someone did try to get her pregnant. She did talk about that. Someone tried to get her pregnant. So I don't think children is something she needs right now. I feel like that would be terrible for her to experience right now. The reason why, because I'm like, girl, at least let someone marry you first and then have a child, because you see what's happening with your sister. Don't repeat the same pattern. Please don't. We don't need another situation to deal with. Leave us out of the group chat. We don't want to see it. We don't want to hear it. But the Three of Wands, I feel like there's someone that's going to be reaching out to her. There's someone she's always going to go and see. Because the Empress card is here. There's some love manifesting for her. Because then you have the Ten of Pentacles with the World card. It is definitely coming her way. And then you have the Lovers. Yeah, this is someone, either she already knows this person or it's someone she's going to meet eventually. Aww. Now I gotta ask. Because I'm nosy and yeah. How does she feel about Michael B. Jordan? The Ace of Wands. The Two of Pentacles. The Four of Cups. The King of Swords. He comes off as the King of Swords. Very strict. He knows what he wants. The Star card. The Two of Swords. The Ace of Pentacles. I feel like those two are going to work together. I don't see those two dating. I don't think they're compatible enough. And then we have the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did give it a try at one point. They probably gave it a little test run, but then she started to realize that he has boundaries and he takes things so serious. He is an air sign. He's an Aquarius man. You either do good with an Aquarius man or you do bad. I mean, look at Blueface and Krishan. Blueface is an Aquarius man. They'll either play you or give you the world. You see how Michael B was with Lori. He gave her ass the world, and she's like, no thank you. Don't know what happened, but don't ask me to do a reading on Michael B. Jordan or Lori Harvey. It's been years now. It's been quite some time now, actually. I don't think it's been years, but it's been quite some time now. Don't ask me. Don't ask. Please don't. I don't want to know. From what I've heard, he wasn't able to give her exactly what she wanted, and she broke up with him. I think he was gonna propose to her. I think he was moving too fast for her liking. He was moving too fast for her, and she was like, and he wasn't available as much for her liking. Because he was doing movies around that time too. He was doing movies, doing all types of stuff. So I don't think she was into that. Yeah, it just But with Chloe's situation, Ace of Wands and the King of Swords, I feel like she did shoot her shot at him. Two of Pentacles and the Star. She was hoping that those two could work things out with one another. Because then we have the Star card here. Because the Star card represents Aquarius as well. So there is some type of balance that was needed in order for those two to potentially become a couple. But the Four of Cups and the Two of Swords, they weren't able to see eye to eye at all. It definitely gave no, I don't know. Chloe kind of gives me clingy vibes, and he's an Aquarius. Aquarius love their space. They love their space. When they're so into you, they will become clingy. But the moment you show signs that you're kind of codependent, you're not really You don't set boundaries correctly. You only set boundaries after you get your heart broken, but you don't set boundaries before that even happens. They tend to fall back. They fall back. I feel like Aquarius individuals are very. I'm an Aquarius. I'm gonna tell you this right now. We become clingy at first, but then when we start to get to know you and start to see a pattern regards to you, whether it's a positive pattern or a negative pattern, we start to decide whether or not how much time we're going to invest into you. So if you're having this negative pattern of always pointing the finger, always playing the victim, always making it seem like the world is against you, we start to fall the fuck back and let you realize that we're not going to be emotionally invested in what you have going on. We're not going to do that. I feel like he has a Cancer moon as well. Ooh, don't date someone that is the sign of your moon sign. Y'all gonna clash. No shade. Y'all are low-key gonna clash with each other. It's not gonna be like unbearable to be around that person, but you're gonna be close, but then at the same time you're gonna clash, if that makes sense. So he's a smart man to picture that. I don't feel like I don't think she was mature enough for him. Like, her mindset with regards to like certain things just wasn't there. Compared to Lori's mindset, Lori already had that mindset of maturity and knowing boundaries, especially when she knows. Lori is the GOAT with regards to knowing what she wants and what the hell she don't want. That is a grown ass woman. That's why he fell over heels for her. And she's a Capricorn, so that makes sense. That's a woman of structure. And going for someone that's like the sister sign of Capricorn, which is Cancer, I think. Yeah. The sister sign of Capricorn is Cancer, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, one that's more emotionally mature, but everything else is like not there. Ugh. You're dating the opposite, and that could be overwhelming. Yeah, there's no type of love there. Yeah, there's no type of love that's there. So I'm gonna pay that. But yeah, the advice that I have for Chloe is just to keep going. Maybe get rid of your team. I don't think that her team is sabotaging her like Normani's team is doing. I feel like they gave her chance after chance, and now she feels entitled. Ugh. Am I wrong for saying that? She gives me this entitled vibe. Like, why did she feel so entitled? Girl, just because you have the body and the voice does not mean it's going to bring in revenue. People don't like your music. Your music is mediocre. There's nothing satisfying about your music. It gives like H&M Forever 21 music. Like, come on now. Something gotta give. She's better off going back with Hallie and those two becoming a group again. Because separate, those two are solo career-wise failing. But as a group, they're doing amazing. They will do so amazing if they stay as a group. But separate, no. Sad to say it. But she still has the opportunity to grow as a solo artist. It's just going to take time. If she's not trying to spend that patience and that time. I mean, how old is she? 26? Eventually she's going to be... Well, SZA is in her 30s. And she's doing amazing as an artist. So age really doesn't matter as a singer. Maybe as a rapper, age definitely matters. But as a singer, age don't matter, baby. You still have time. It's just you have to invest in what you really want and not what you think is perfect for you. What you think is perfect, because you're being delusional. You're being delusional. Your career, you're being delusional. Being very delusional. How does someone like Tyler overcome you? And you've been in the career. That's what I'm talking about. You see how Tyler has like an image for herself? like, she has her own sound, her own aesthetic, and that's why she's becoming popular. Chloe, do the same thing. Come up with your aesthetic, come up with your sound, stick with that sound, and come up with an album that sounds good, and actually have the time and opportunity to connect with your fans. The more you become distant, the more you think, oh, I could just drop an album and it will do good. Baby, you're not at that level. You're not at that level. Please and thank you. Ciao. Oh, this is making me mad. I think I got this irritated when I was reading on Hallie. I'm getting irritated again with Chloe. It's just too much. The solution is go back to your sister, form a group with your sister again, and restart from square one. It's that simple. Ooh, child. That's the end of this reading. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.